Hey y'all, it's your girl Domo, and today I'm going to show y'all how I dyed this hair from platinum to this beautiful ruby red color. So this is how it looked before I did anything to it. You see it's this platinum ash gray color. It's been sitting in the bag for almost a year now because I only wore it once for my birthday last year, and then I kind of just let it sit. So I started off by boiling some water in a pot, and then I poured it into this bowl. I use a bowl just to make sure it stops the hair from like going down the drain when I'm rinsing it in the sink. So yeah. Then I went in with some Adore ruby red color, and I thought I edited this part out because it wouldn't come out at first. But like I said, I went in with some Adore ruby red. I think I used about 1.5 bottles in total, and I just poured that all in there. I also added some of the Via Natural semi-permanent color. I used the color Bright Red. It's number 62. I added a little bit of that just to see that if it came out to a brighter red, because that's what I was going for, was a bright red color. And since I'm using platinum hair, I just wanted to make sure that the color showed up fully. So I just added a little bit of that in. And then I took my little dyeing brush and I just mixed it all in really good. You could use a whisk too. That usually gets it blended a little bit better, but I just use this because it's for myself. It's not. Then we definitely want to make sure we don't stain that lace, especially with red dye. So I went in with some silicone mix on a dyeing brush and I just spreaded that all over my lace. Make sure you coat it real thick. It's not foolproof. It's not 100% perfect, but it will like dilute the dye and stop it from getting all over that lace and basically staining your knots. So you definitely want to not skip this step. You definitely want to cover your lace. Some people like to use got to be spray, but I personally like the conditioner better because not only is it protecting the lace, it doesn't leave that sticky feeling all over it, and to me it just works a little bit better. So this is the method that I like to use. Then I went ahead and dipped my wig into the water. I like to dip from the top first, just because in my experience, sometimes when you start at the bottom, you get those blotchy spots in the middle and top of the wig where it's not, dyed right, or it doesn't have that much dye. So I just like to dip from the top and then brush and then just start dipping from the bottom after the top is already dyed. As you can see, it's the top part where the hairline is and stuff, it already has dye on it. So you definitely would want to start at the top because it just makes the wig turn out better. Make sure that you're brushing through with like a wig or detangling brush because it just makes sure that all of those strands get dyed, so that there are no gray spots, or if you start off with blonde, just make sure it's no blonde or really light pink spots. You get that a lot with red hair, so you just want to make sure you're thorough and keep dipping and dipping until you don't see any spots in the hair at all. So after I've done this process a few times, I just like to go through the hair with my fingers just to make sure I don't see any spots, make sure there's nothing that needs to be dipped again. Because the last thing you want to do is pour out all of your water with the dye in it. Then you got to do this process all over again. I've done that multiple times. Then I kind of just squeezed all that water out and set the wig to the side while I empty out the bucket and rinse the sink out a little bit. And I actually just let the dye sit on the wig for about 20 to 30 minutes. You could do longer if you have the time, but I needed to wear this wig the very next day. So I just let it sit for 20 to 30 minutes just before I rinsed it or did anything to it. Then when it was time to rinse, I went in with ice cold water, y'all. Leave the water running for a few seconds before you start rinsing because you want to make sure it is the coldest that the water gets. Reason being is because when the water is too hot or too warm, it will start to fade the color way quicker. The color will start to bleed. So you want to do cold because it kind of just locks that color in. And I was pouring the water out multiple times as I did this process because you just want clean water and you want the water to be as clear as possible. Of course, it's red hair, so the water is not going to be clear. It's going to be like a light pink, but you want to make sure that the water is as light as possible before you stop rinsing. So once you're done fully rinsing your wig, you want to put it back in a bowl. Then I go in with some Afore crystal clear dye. It just gives it a shine. I saw somebody do this on TikTok and I haven't went back since because my wigs look so much better. So yeah, I go in with some Afore crystal clear and I also add some conditioner onto that. I use the Ion Repair conditioner when I'm doing color hair. To me, it just makes the hair softer. So after I put the dye and conditioner on there, I go through it with my fingers, just making sure I'm spreading it all over the wig. And then I go through it with a detangling brush just to make sure that it's on all of the strands because you want to make sure you saturate it really well, especially after dyeing it and using hot water and all of that.